Alright, at the time of me recording this, it is 9:40 p.m. I was supposed to give you guys a video on Sunday and another one today, but as you guys already know from my last video, I'm bad at this, okay? Like, I am literally using a content calendar I generated with ChatGPT, literally in the name. But since we're gonna follow the calendar anyway, I'm gonna tell you guys why I decided to go into content. Now, I wouldn't really say I decided to, like, that's what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do, what I still want to do, is music. I still want to make music. I have come to realize that I also like talking to you guys. I also like playing games. Now, what really got me into music in the first place was back in secondary school. I think I had just entered SS2, which is also known as 11th grade. It was during the long break, so it was summer holiday. I wasn't living in Lagos at the time, so I was staying with a family friend of ours in Lagos. And it was then that a friend of mine introduced me to Alan Walker. Now you see, before then, I didn't really know what I liked in music. I did know that I didn't find what was trending or popular really to my taste. Mine was more of a niche genre, and this was around 2014, 2015. So EDM wasn't as mainstream as it is now. So he introduced me to Alan Walker. My favorite song at the time wasn't even a song, it was an instrumental. It was Sky. Alan Walker's Sky. That's when he was still making a lot of instrumentals. And honestly, to my discredit, I haven't been listening to a lot of Alan Walker's music. In fact, I haven't really listened to him in years. It got to a point I just stopped listening to him because I discovered other artists. But I was the kind of guy at the time who would stick to one artist and one artist only. I only liked Alan Walker. It wasn't until Christmas break in SS2 that I then discovered Marshmello and Slushy. This was around 2018, I think. 2017, 2018, that's when I discovered them. I discovered Alone by Marshmello, and what Slushy song did I discover? Can't really remember, but I do know that I got hooked on both of them. And then for a period of time, I was just listening to either Alan Walker or Marshmello or Slushy. Then I entered my SoundCloud phase, quote unquote SoundCloud phase. I was using only SoundCloud. It was also when I started dabbling into music making a bit. I was using this app called Music Maker Jam, and it was through there I discovered Petit Biscuit. You know what? I should install the app again. Maybe I still have access to my old account. If I do, I'm actually find one of the first songs I ever posted on my channel, which is terrible, by the way. I can't believe I'm even saying it, because this is very embarrassing. Very terrible song, by the way. I don't even want to go back to listen to it. Oh dear. So it was through that I discovered Petit Biscuits, found his songs, found Sunset Lover, which is one of my favorites. But that one wasn't really one of my favorites. It was from his debut album. I can't remember the name. There was one particular one that I really liked. It was from there SoundCloud started recommending different EDM songs to me. And then later on, I discovered dubstep thanks to another friend of mine. One of my favorite dubstep song at the time was a remix of Monster by Subtronics, I think. Yeah, that was it. Then became my dubstep phase. That's when I discovered Boss Fights. Very underrated dubstep artist, by the way. So that was just it. And I'm the kind of person that when I discover something new and I really like it, I will listen to it for weeks, maybe months on end. Like right now, at the moment, I have been listening to strictly Black Griffon. You know, the guy that did Alasto's songs for Has Been Hotel. Yeah, I have been listening to a lot of his songs. That and a little bit of CG5. Yes, I am just discovering CG5. Sue me. I have gone a bit off topic. To sum it up, what made me discover that I really wanted to do this was, for context, in the school I went to, in fact, at the time, I honestly don't know how it is now, but at the time, schools, primary and secondary, phones were not allowed. Like, even if you could use like tech and gadgets, or you could only bring them on specific days. Those specific days being things like cultural day or any event that's happening in school where you are allowed to bring whatever gadget you want. effort. On a normal day, they don't allow phones in school. So I snuck my phone to school one day, and I then showed one of Alan Walker's songs, Sky, especially to one of my friends. And I remember just imagining performing live on a stage, like DJing or something like that. I found it really amusing, and I thought, you know what, I want to do this. And that's pretty much what set me on the path. What I do regret though is that I didn't take it seriously then. I remembered using Music Maker Jam then, uninstalling it, then discovering BandLab, messing with it for a while, then uninstalling it, never to talk about it again. It wasn't until 2020, during COVID, that I started to take it serious. I just downloaded the app one day. I was like, you know what, let me mess with this, let me see what I can do. And that's where it started. It started from literally making beats on my phone, which were terrible by the way, but some of the songs that I'm proud of the most, like for example, my Bruno remix was made on BandLab, although it wasn't made on the mobile version, it was made on the browser version, which is, on desktop. It was from there it started happening. That's how I started getting involved in music production a bit more. My dad eventually noticed, and not long after I got into uni, he got me a laptop. It was from there I stopped using BandLab, started using FL Studio, and I've been using FL Studio since then. Since then, I have continued to make beats. I have finished some. I have a lot that are just sitting in my storage that I haven't opened. They were just ideas I put down, then I closed it and never opened it again. I do that a lot. I would get an idea, I don't know what to do with it. I just close the project and never open it again. Anywho, that's how I quote unquote got into content. I was kind of forced into content because I had to, find a way to get my music out there. And in some cases, it has worked. But what has really pushed me into content recently is because I do want to reach out more. I do want to expand my brand more. But also at the same time, because of the nature of my internship. My internship involves me creating videos for them. So whether I like it or not, I have to be a bit more active on social media. So I thought, okay, if I am doing this for this company, I might as well put that same effort into my own content. And well, look at where it's got me. I am definitely in a better place than I was last year. I mean, I have found a few loyal fans, even if it's just one or two. Anywho, this is getting way too long. This is going to be a pain to edit later, so I'm just going to end it here. If you like this video, why not drop a sub? It's free. Anyways, love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.
Medic needed!
Enemy detected. Changing mag. Stay out of sight.
Medic needed!
Enemy there. Heading to the target.
Using a medic pack.
Executing Plan B. Changing mag. Stay out of sight.
Down. This way. Enemy spotted!
Changing mag. Stay out of sight.
I'm reloading. Weapon here. Enemy hit.
gas now. We're under attack. Reloading.